Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about how to create a tip calculator using HTML CSS and also JavaScript. So let's look at the project. So inside that you need to enter the amount like $100 and whatever the tip you want to add it, the default is a 15%, but you can increase it, you will get different result. And also you can enter the custom tip like a 60% and how many numbers of the pupils are giving the tips. So let's say I'm going to add the default is 1, but I'm going to increase that, then the particular amount will be divided with 2%. And another feature is when I click on the rest, now everything is the default, right? It is fully responsive, so I'm going to add it as a responsiveness, and right now as you can see, right? So let's look at that how you can create it from scratch. So I go to my code editor. Inside the code editor have a basic structure of HTML, CSS and also app.js. So first of all we need to design the complete application. So let's start to write the code to design the application. I'm going to add the header tag image. Image is getting from my logo. Images folder. After the header tag I'm going to add the main tag, container tag. Inside the container I will use top section class. Inside that I'm going to use the label. In the label tag I'll use the label for is input and type is bold. After the label I will use the input wrapper class in a minute, input wrapper, and then I will use the in a minute. Input type is number, placeholder I'm going to add 0.0, ID I will use input, and image, that is image that will help us to display the icon. Image icon dollar, and after this from there I'll use another label tag, another label class. Inside that I'll use label, and I'm going to use the custom tip, and that will select tip and modulus. And then we need to add the buttons. I'm going to add the button tag, and class is button. How many buttons you want to create it? So 5, I think. Yeah, 5. So that is first one. Second, that is 3, 4, and yeah. So that is 5% and 10%, 15%. And 25%, and that will 50%. In the last I'm gonna add it input type is number, and placeholder is custom, ID is custom tip, right? After this one container I'm gonna add the label class, label tag. In the label I will use people and number of people, and also I will add the error message that will help us to display the error when user will enter. I'm gonna leave that text inside there, and then I will create a purple wrapper class. Inside that I'll use input type is number, placeholder 1, the default is 1, ID I'm going to add the purple, and also I'm going to add the MA from the icon person image folder. Great. So that is our first section, but we're going to create another section that will help us to display the number of persons in a minute, right? So this is our first section, so we need to design it, but before designing it I need to create another section. Yeah, so we need to complete the HTML structure, so that is top section. After that I'm gonna add a bottom section. amount class. In the amount class I'm going to use description. In the description I will use paragraph and tip amount. Also I'm going to use BR tag, means line break, span tag. In the span I will use the backslash sign and person, right? And after the P I will use the tip value class, and the default is 5%, I mean $5. And yeah, so that is our first section. So we're gonna use same thing to get it another content, so the similar class description, but inside that I'm gonna use it the total, right, and total person, and I'm gonna add it default is 200, right? So yeah, great. After that, this one I'm gonna add it inside the bottom section. I'm gonna add the button class is rest, and that is our rest. So we need to save it. So this is our complete HTML structure. So we need to move on the CSS. In the CSS I have Google Fonts space mono. We're gonna use it as font family. So first of all, you need to use padding 0, margin 0, box sizing border box, means you need to reset the property, right? Then we need to use the body, and I'm going to use background color. So I have many colors in this style.guide, so I need to get the body color like HSL, like this one, and I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to use font family is space mono. And the second one, sensei font weight, I will use 700, and I want to display the content in the center, so I'm going to use display flags, align item center, justify content center, and I need to use height is 100 VH, and also I will use flex direction as column. Then I need to select the header tag, and the header have an image, so I need to display the image in the center of the page, so I'm going to use display flags, justify content center, and I'm going to use margin block 50 pixels. So we need to save it, and I'm going to hide it. Let's look at that. Yeah, the logo is appear in the center, and my content also appear in the center of the page. Then I need to select the container. In the container I will use the border radius 20 pixel, and I'm going to use the background color is white. So save. Great. So let's see the top section. And use padding 30 pixel, and there I'm going to use label tag. In the label tag I'm going to use font size is 14 pixel. The color is, get the color from this one, and I'm going to paste it. Font weight I will use 700, and I'm going to use margin bottom to make a space on the bottom 20 pixel. Then we need to select the input wrapper class. Inside that I have an input field, so I'm going to use margin block 0 and 40 pixel. I'm going to add the padding all side 10 pixel. Font size I will use 16 pixel. Width I will use 350 pixel. Border is none, and then I will use background color is, I will get the background color from this one, and I'm going to paste it, and I will move the text align in the right side, cursor pointer, and also I will use the color is HSL. First I need to check the, no, this doesn't exist on there, so like this one, dark green color, so add it, and I'm gonna add the font family is inherit, and font size I will use 80 pixel, and font weight I will use 700. So we need to save it, and look at that, and this is our first input field, right? So select the input type is number, and I'm going to add it as a most appearance text field. Input wrapper, we need to select it, and inside the input focus. In the focus I will use outline as none. Then I need to select the image. So right now this is image, so I need to move this one image in the left side. So I need to use the image input wrapper and inside the image, but I need to select my main input wrapper. Just a minute, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna paste it, and I'm gonna add it. Position is relative. Then I need to select the image tag, and I'm gonna use position as the absolute. Once we add it, then we need to move it. Top will 15 pixel and it will move left 50 pixel. So we need to save it and look at that, right? So let's see the BTN container. So I'm going to divide it as a grid wise, display grid, and I want to display more than 3 buttons in the row. So I need to use grid template column, repeat 3 and 1 alpha. Grid template rows, how many rows? I'm going to use repeat 2 1 alpha. I will use the gap, means make a space 15 pixel. Now so I'm going to add the margin button 40 pixel. Let's select the BTN container. Inside that I have a button tag. In the button tag I need to add the padding 10 pixel, border is none, border radius I will use 5 pixel, and background color I will use HSL 50%. I think I used that. Yeah, there is a color, but so I'm gonna add it inside there, right? And then I'm gonna use color as white. Font size I'll use 20 pixel. Cursor pointer and font family I will inherit, means similar font that is appear inside the body. Select the BTN container. Inside that I have a button, and I will add the active class. So in the active class I will use background color HSL like this one, and color is HSL like this one. So we need to save it, and you can't see any changes inside there because I need to add the class on the any button like this one. So I'll add the active class, then you will able to see the changes, right? Yeah, so move on. Button active class means all of the button. I will add the effect when I will click that, and it will move on scale 0.98. So I'm going to click on anyone right now, as you can see, right? So this is the effect. So let's select the BTN container. Inside that I have an input. So in the input I will use border none, padding all side 10 pixel, background color I will HSL 97, yeah. Border radius I will use 5 pixel, font family I will use inherit, and font size I will use 40 pixel. So we need to save it and look at that. Yeah, great. Let's move on the people wrapper. People wrapper. So we need to check the class. Yeah, people wrapper. Yeah. I'm gonna use the position relative using for position relative inside the wrapper, because inside that have an image, so we need to fix that. So I already mentioned the position relative inside there. Then I'm gonna use position people wrapper inside that input field, and I'm gonna use margin block 10 10 pixel and also 40 pixel. Padding outside 10 pixel. Font size I will use 16 pixel. Width I will use 350 pixel. Border is none. And border radius I will use 5 pixel. And I'm gonna add the background color. The HSL is yeah, this will be great. And also I will move it. Text align is the right side. Cursor pointer and color I will use HSL 183, like this one. And font size I will use 80 pixel. Font family is inherit and font weight I will use 700. So we need to save, and yeah, great, as you can see. And we need to manage this one icon, right? But before designing it, I need to fix few things. People wrapper, inside that I have input. I'm gonna use focus, so I need to use outline as now. And then I need to select the people wrapper. Inside that I have image tag, right? So I need to use position is absolute. Reason for using position absolute, I have used the position relative inside our people wrapper class. So I will move it top 20 pixel and left well 20 pixel. So that's it for the left section. So we need to work on the right side section. So in the right side section we need to select the bottom section. In the bottom section I need to use background color is I need to get it where it is. Yeah, so this will already mention it, this one. And I'm going to use border is none. Border radius 20 pixel. Padding block 20 pixel, 50 pixel top and bottom, left and right 20 pixel. Padding inline 20 pixel. So we need to save, and let's look at that. Yeah. Select the description tag and description class. One may use display flags and justify content space between align item center, and I'm going to use margin bottom to make a space 55 pixel. Then I need to select the description. Inside it have a paragraph tag. In the paragraph I'm going to change the font size as 20 pixel. Font family I'll use inherit and color is white. Then I need to select the description and say that I have a paragraph. Inside the paragraph is span tag, so I need to use opacity is 0.5. Save, and here is opacity. Yeah, so let's select the description. Inside that I have divs, so I need to use font size as a 30 pixel. Font family I'll use inherit, and I'm gonna add the color is HSL. Yeah, so I think I need to check this one color. I'll get it, and I'm gonna paste it. Yeah, and I'm gonna use font weight is 700. So select the rest button. So I'm gonna use border is none. Padding outside 50 pixel. Border radius I will use 5 pixel. Background color I will use HSL 50. No, I need to check that. Yeah, I'm gonna add this one color. And I'm gonna use font size. Font size 16 pixel. Color I will use HSL. Like this one. Font weight I will use 700 and width will 380 pixel. Cursor pointer and display block. So we need to save it, and let's look at that. So here is a button and here's the data. Yeah. Right now this is everything is clear on the CSS, but we need to design it as a responsiveness. So right now this is a large skin size, but we need to make a media query to assign the particular size. So I'm going to use main width. Remember, main width 1200 pixel. After using it, I'm going to select the container and I'm going to use display flags, and I will use the width 920 pixel. Height is 490 pixel, and I'm going to use margin 0 and auto to display the content in the center. So we need to say and yeah, grade. Then we need to make it two sections, top and bottom. So I'm going to select the top and assign the width 50%. Reason for using it, because in the small skin size, when user will hit the small skin size, so I need to divide them. And bottom section, so I will use width 50%. Yeah, and also I will add few things. Margin block 35 pixel and margin white 35. Also I'm going to use margin block 50 pixel and also 10 pixel. Margin, not that is padding block. Yeah. To make a space, guys, padding block, and yeah, padding inline. I'm gonna add 20%. So select the description, and in the description I will use the padding inline is 40 pixel. So let's select the rest button. In the rest button I need to use position is absolute, but I need to use the position relative inside our bottom section, because I will move it in the downside. This will be move on the downside in small skin size in a minute, as you can see. So I need to use the property like bottom 40 pixel, and it will move left 40 pixel, and I'm gonna add width 355 pixel. Also I'll use the margin 0 and auto to display the content in the center. Last and final thing I'm gonna add it. No, I think I will add few more things. Yeah, so I will manage it. In the way said, we need to select the input field in the small skin size. So I'm gonna use width 379 pixel. Then I need to select the people wrapper input element, and I'm going to use the position is relative and with 375 pixel, bottom at 20 pixel. Reason for using position relative, in the small skin size we need to fix the image. So I'm going to get it, paste it, just change that image absolute, and I will move it top to 7 pixel. Let's select the btn container, get template columns, repeat 3 1FR, and I'm going to add the margin bottom 2.5 to make a space. And yeah, so I think I think almost it's done, but I need to add few things with 150 pixel on each button tag, and also btn container. Inside that have input field, so I'm going to use width 100%. So we need to save it and everything is clear. But last thing, I need to fix that button in the small skin size. In the large skin size everything is clear, but in the small skin size we need to use the media, and I'm going to add the main width 375 pixel, and max width I will add it 1199 pixel, and I'm going to select the rest with 100%. Save, and look at that. Right guys, so our designing section has been completed. So let's move on the JS. to get the data and do something. So I need to get the value from the HTML page, and we're gonna assign the value inside our variables. So I'm gonna get it one by one. Input element document.query selector, and this is the ID. So I'm gonna use hash sign and assign the ID name or value name that is coming from there, as you can see. Right, so I'm gonna get it faster. Then I need to save the time because inside it have many other things we need to know all about it. Once we get the values and assign the values inside our variables, then we're going to use those variables inside our JS project to display the data inside our particular page and add the events when user will click on the buttons. So let's do that. I'm going to create a variable bill val, means bill value, the how many people. So I'm going to assign the default is 1 tip val, and I'm going to assign the default value is 0.15, right? And then the next thing you need to add it event. Which event? Add event listener when user will click on the button. So I have selected btn elements query selector all, means all buttons. So we need to handle the event. So I'm going to use btn element dot for each because inside that I have many buttons. So I'm going to execute it inside the for each loop. btn dot add event listener, click command. When the event is executed, then I'm going to call that function. I will clear that function, right? Also I'm going to add the comment, and that is function name, and I'll collect parentheses curly brackets. I'm going to add e means element, or you can pass any parameter as you want. So I'm going to again use btn element and use for each loop to execute it one by one, and I'm going to add the class and remove the class from the buttons. In class list dot remove which class? Active class. And then I need to check if e.target means when user will click on the, in a minute I will show you how you can do e.target that in a HTML. I just check that what happened when I will click on the button, right? So open the console. Right now as you can see 50% click on that, 10%, 15%, 50%, 25%. Means when I will click on the button, then I will get the particular button value, right? By using e.target.html, right? So what I need to do on there, I need to check that if this value is equal to btn.innerHTML, then come into the body, and I'm going to add the class list.add which class? Active class. And I need to target my tip value variable that is coming from my top, and I'm going to use parse float btn.innerHTML. The value is coming from my button, and I need to assign it inside our tip value variable divided 100. So let's see in a minute. I will use custom tip dot value outside of the for each loop. Remember, assign the values. I'm gonna use console.log. I'm gonna add it inside here, and I'm gonna check that what happened. I will click on the button. Click on that. Value 31. Custom tip. The value is nothing in a minute. I need to check that. Yeah, it's perfect. Oh, just a minute. I will come out and I need to check that. Yeah, I am able to see the value is appear inside my console, and when I click on any button, then my class has been activated on the particular button. And yeah, great. So I will leave the, I'm gonna uncomment it, and I'm gonna call the calculate. That function I will create it. So I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna create that function. So inside the function, I will check the value, how many peoples and so on and so forth. So I'm going to check it. If people value greater than or equal to 1, then come into the if body. In the if body, I will create let tip variable, and then I'm going to use bill value times by tip value divided by how many peoples, I don't know, people value, just like that. So total amount, I need to get it by using this tactics, bill val times by parenthesis tip val addition by 1, by default is a 1, divide by people value, right? So let's target the total val, right? That is coming from my, where is total val? In a minute, where is the total val? Where is, yeah, the data is coming from my total value, like this one. So I'm gonna add it index wise, right? So in the 0 index number, I'm gonna add in a HTML, assign the $, and I'm gonna target the tip dot to fixed. That is function that will help us to display the characters after the dot. So I'm gonna display the 2. Same thing, I'm gonna target the total val, and that is index number 1 in a HTML, concatenation sign, and total amount to fixed. And so yeah, that's our function that will help us to calculate the peoples and display the total amount and so on and so forth, right? So let's move on the people and also validation, and also we need to work on the tip calculation, right? So yeah, I'm gonna select calculate, and after that I will create a validation bill, right? So create a function validate the bill. That's very simple function that will help us to validate our bill. Curly brackets. So I'm going to use if input element dot value have what, comma, then come into the body. Yeah, come into the body. I'm going to use it input element dot value dot replace comma to dot. That's it. This is the validation function. And also I need to call the calculate function inside there, and also I need to target my bill value parse float input dot value means the data is coming from input value. We need to assign it inside our bill variable, bill value variable, right? So I need to call it this one function. So I'm gonna use input element dot add event listener click event, and I'm gonna use validate bill function, right? So yeah, we need to save it, and after creating that function we need to create another function that will help us to manage the tip, custom tip. So inside it I'm going to use tip custom val. So I need to call tip value pass float custom tip dot value dot divide by 100, and I'm going to execute the function that will help us to add the event and remove the class from the buttons. So I'm going to select the btn element, and I'm going to add the for each btn, and I'm going to select the btn dot class list dot remove which class, active class. After that I need to target my if custom tip dot value in a minute not equal to 0, then come into the if body, and I'm going to call that function is calculate. So that is our function that will help us to manage our tip calculation. So I need to go on top, and I'm going to target my custom tip, that is this one variable. By the way, this is the input field, so I'm going to add it as input. Okay, also I'm going to target that as input event, and inside that I'm going to call that function, right? So once we done that, then the next thing you need to work on the so I need to work on the people, how many people. So set people value. So create a function set people value curly brackets. So similar thing, I'm going to add it people value pass float people value dot value people element value. Element means the data is coming from my variables from my HTML page and assign it inside our variables. People value means our static data that is appear my this one variables, right? Where it is custom set people like this one. So I'm gonna add the if people value less than equal to 0, then come into the body, and I'm gonna target my other element dot inner HTML, that is variable that is coming from my top, like this one. So inside that I'm going to display the message number must be greater than 0, and then I'm going to use set timeout, and I'm going to add 200 milliseconds, means 2 seconds. After that I need to remove the message from this one, and also I need to call that function is calculate, right? And last and final thing, I need to call it, but before calling it I'm going to add the event on the input value, right? So I'm going to target the people element dot add event listener which event, click event, and I'm going to call that function, right? Last and final thing, I need to work on the reset, means reset everything function handle reset parenthesis curly brackets. So input element dot value, the default is 0.0, and I'm going to call the validate build function, and I'm going to select the btn element, the index wise 2 dot click, that is default function that will help us to click the event, click the button on the number 2, right? And I'm going to use people value. The default value is 1, and people element, and last thing I need to call the function is set people value. So that is our function, so we need to call that on the reset button. So I need to go on top, reset element dot add listener, which event, select event, and I'm going to call that function. So this is our complete tip calculator. So yeah, so let's start the validate build, set people, tip custom, and yeah, get. So let's start 16. Okay, I need to check that custom tip. Okay, I need to check that one. Custom tip. Okay, I think the problem will be solved. Yeah. So the default is everything is default, but when I will enter the value 100, okay, just a minute, 100, nothing happened. So I need to check that the input element, people element, rest element click, people element is input, and yeah, so I think it should be 100. No, let's check it now what happened. Yeah, great. So I think something is wrong, so I need to check the everything, and yeah, great. Okay, I need to check that it's pure. Yeah, so I don't know why input element, input, so I need to check that, and yeah, this one is ID, input element bool. So I think yeah, it's great. So I'm gonna remove this one from there and add no, it doesn't work right now, guys. In a minute, I need to check that. Guys, I think I have a problem inside there. So the tip value is multiple times, so inside my this one document, so I need to add it as all, right? So I think the problem will be solved. So I need to check that one more time. So I'm gonna add it 100. No, it doesn't work right now. So yeah, tip value KD selector all, and yeah. So guys, I think everything is inside there. So I have checked this one function because everything is inside there, so I need to remove it, and the problem is people element, so we need to check it people value, right? So here's my mistake, guys. So I think it should be work. Yeah, it's working. So I'm gonna add the 100. The default is a 50%, but I'm gonna decrease it 10% when I will increase the value like 2%. So each person divide by total amount of 100. So the 5 is a tip, and yeah, so you will get different result. And I'm gonna add the value custom. You can do that. So let's start. Last and final one is rest button, click on that, everything is default. So guys, here is my mistake. So in a minute. So the first one mistake is I need to select all of the element from the tip value, because inside it have a multiple value, tip value, like this one and this one. So you need to select the all and tip value. The next problem is inside the calculate have a value of the people element, people value greater than or equal to 1, then come into this one section, otherwise leave that section. So I have selected on earlier people element, so just like this one. So I hope you understood as well all about it. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.